Now, there are 3 different days on today, which I find kind of interesting, okay? Today is National Fried Clam Day. It's also National Eat Your Beans Day. And it's also National Chocolate Wafer Day. So I guess if you were to honor this day gastronomically, our dinner would consist of an appetizer of bean soup, followed by fried clams as an appetizer, as the entree. And then for dessert, we would have some chocolate wafers. Now, it's interesting that the ancient Hebrews were not allowed to eat fried clams. Matter of fact, we read in Leviticus chapter 11, verses 9 through 12, "These shall ye eat all that are in the water. Whatsoever has fins and scales in the water, in the sea, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the sea and in the river, of all the move in the water, and of any living thing which is in the water, they shall be an abomination unto you. Ye shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass is an abomination. Whatsoever has no fin, no scale in the water, that shall be an abomination unto you." Now, to this day, if you were to ask a dietitian, what are 2 foods that you should absolutely never, ever, ever eat? The first thing they would tell you is don't eat pork. And the second thing they would tell you is don't eat seafood. And guess what? Clams are a seafood. Now, God knew that these foods were unhealthy, so he told his children not to eat them. In fact, he called them an abomination. He called them unclean. Now, in Acts chapter 10, God tells Peter it's all right to have a pulled pork sandwich. He tells them to have fried clams whenever you want. Matter of fact, one of the reasons, because of the vision that Peter had in Acts chapter 10, it's one of the reasons why we have ham on Easter. That's the tradition that goes back to Acts chapter 10. In Acts chapter 10, verse 15, we read, "And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God cleansed, that call not the common." Or in other words, don't call it unclean. Don't call it an abomination. You see, God knew that restricting certain foods would be a stumbling block for people to come to know Jesus Christ as his Savior, much like the stumbling block of circumcision was going to be. So God said, you know what? We're just removing that stumbling block. You see, even God himself knew that certain things would keep people from coming to Christ. So he removed those stumbling blocks. Now, can I tell you something? Unfortunately, for many of us, we try to put stumbling blocks in front of people. Listen, if God would remove them, we should do the same for others. And that's my thought for today. God bless.